So this is our new allotment plot. I have actually done a little bit of work on it. There were a large row of dahlias here which I have cut down, and there was a lot of wood edging the entire site, which is currently in a pile over there, most of which was rotten. So when we took the site on, this side here was already covered. It is pouring with rain. We have asparagus growing here, which I will cut down over the weekend. I have also covered this piece of ground here, weeded all of that, and planted artichokes because they were actually elsewhere and needed to go in the ground quite quickly. I did start some weeding over this side. Plan here is I have a couple of fruit trees that I will train on some posts and wires in this corner, and then so our plot finishes here. This bit is not ours. Over the weekend I plan to get this piece here weeded, covered, and I will show you some progress and some updates as we go along. This is actually my second allotment plot, so I have another one over that way. But yeah, we'll let you know how we get on. We'll be back up here at the weekend, not today because it is pouring with rain. That is it for the minute. I'm going to fall over. So it's absolutely miserable weather today. So I've come up because I needed to grab a fork and a spade for a few jobs I want to get done in the garden. There's the fruit trees there from the garden waiting to go in. Yeah, we'll give you some updates over the weekend. So this is where we got to. I am freezing cold. All clear, all covered. Well, not clear. All this mess still everywhere, but all covered. The posts are up in the top corner. The trees are there ready and waiting. Dahlias are up. They're on their way home so that I can wash them all off. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I might pop back up because I do really want to do a tour of the original site for you. So I might pop up tomorrow and do that. And I've got some cauliflower and some broccoli off of there to bring home with us as well. So I'm going to go home and cook some soup. Here she is, we are back, finally. Gonna try and get a bundle of things done here today. It's been a while since I've been up, so gonna try and make some headway on just generally planning out the plot and the site and how I kind of want it to be. See where I get to. Good morning. So we're at the allotment. I'm on plot 1 in the shed. I will give you a nice little tour of this plot at some point over the next couple of weeks. Today is Sunday the 14th of December, so I've only got a week until I break up for work for Christmas, at which point I'll be able to get up here a lot better, because I am struggling at the moment. It's dark when I leave for work, it is dark when I get home from work, so I've only really got the weekends. And so I haven't done a whole lot. I am focusing my attention today on the second plot, the one that we've just taken on, and I'll show you how I get on up there. It's probably likely to be a bit of a time-lapse video, although I will give you a walk around and show you kind of what the general plan is for that plot, and say then at some point over Christmas I will give you a nice tour of the plot that we took on in July, which I am currently stood on in the shed. Keeping my eyes out for spiders though, because there are some huge, great big ones in here. I've managed to wheel up some, what was the word I'm looking for, paving slabs. So I got some free paving slabs, 30 of them, from a gentleman who owns a paving slab company opposite where I work, and he was crushing up a load of old discontinued stock. So I was in there straight away. So I've got 30 paving slabs to bring down. I've bought 4 up just so I can start marking out the paths and kind of where I want them to be, and then over Christmas we'll get the rest of them brought up in the van, because I bought those up in the car and my wheelbarrow's got a flat tyre, so I'm going to take that with me to work and get that puncture repaired.
and pumped back up, and that should make it a bit easier, because I'm not going to lie, it's not that far between the plot and the gate, and I had to stop like 3 times. So yeah, I'm going to get on. I'm going to take you out there to the second plot now, show you around, show you the plan. I'll put a couple of pictures up of kind of what it looked like when we started, in some sort of little thumbnail typey things, once I figure out how to edit or do YouTube at all, because as yet I haven't actually tried to do any of that. So yeah, let's head on up that direction and I'll show you where we're going with the second plot. Bear with me. I do have a microphone on. I apologise if you can't hear me because it is really windy. Previously mentioned paving slabs and flat tyre on wheelbarrow. And this is where we've got to with the plot. So we have, this side here was already covered. I actually haven't taken that off. There was a path down the middle. The whole thing was kind of edged with wood that is very rotten, which is that pile over there. Put a couple of posts up over here in this corner because I am going to fall over walking down here because this is so uneven. I apologise. Hang on, let's take the slowest walk in the world. Plan is it espalier, a plum tree and a pear tree up these two. So putting the wires up for those will be something that I get on with fairly soon actually, and chopping these down to sort of suit. Although I won't do the plum tree because you can't do that yet. That's a blackcurrant bush. He will kind of go in this area. And the general plan, oh, I've got more of these pallet collars than I realised. There's 2 hiding in there. That's good because I wanted to kind of do those today. So the general plan, I'm stood kind of right back at the top end of the plot now, is I will have a path that goes down the middle. This is an asparagus bed. And the path, I think then I want it to tee out here. So I'll have a large bed here, a large bed here. The fruit section over in the corner, the centre will be a polytunnel, and another bed over here, which currently is just home to my artichokes. So that's the general plan. This whole bit here isn't ours, so we finish here, and this is us from the other side. So it's very open, and I do feel a lot like an absolute knob talking to myself, but I'm going to have to get over that, aren't I? So plan for today. I'm not really sure what the plan for today is, but I'm going to get on with something. I want to mark the paths out, put a couple of the paving slabs kind of in place so that I know where I'm working with and what sort of spaces I'm looking at. So I'll probably use a string line for most of that. And I want to get the pallet beds just put up because those are going to be a parsnip and a carrot bed, and they're going to go right against one of the paths. So it kind of gives me something to start sort of working with. And I just want to secure a lot of this because we've had terrible weather. So I just want to make sure everything is all covered down properly. So there's my asparagus bed, which all grew here, so I can move that over slightly. We'll see where we end up for today. And I just hope you kind of don't fall over on your tripod, which is over there somewhere. Oh my God, this is so uneven. So I'll probably put you on a time lapse initially and let you know how we get on. I say we, it's just me. That's where we're starting at. Show you where I've got to quickly and what it is that I'm doing because you can't really see from the time lapse, but there you go. I'm just marking out, so this is slabs that I've bought, a couple of posts, and just marking a string line really all the way up to the other end where it meets up with these posts. Let me spin you around. Yeah, so that's where we've got to at the moment. God, it's cold. My nose is running. I'll put you back on time lapse and then I'll do the centerpiece. Very close there, hello. I'll do the centre bit, the centre path, and then see where I kind of get to. I edged the other plot. Is it up there? It's up there. There's my other plot. This one, there. So I've got a big bag of like all the edgings and bits and pieces that really I need to kind of shake the weeds off, bring the mud down and put it on here. So I might do that today too, if I have enough time and I'm not frozen to death by then. Yeah, let me put you back on time lapse. I'm going to do the middle path and see where else we get to today. I'm just going to put a couple of string lines on just between these posts and the one at the top end. I hope you can hear me. It's so windy. I'll move the microphone closer. This will be the beginning of the path. It will finish down there at those second two posts, and then it goes across here and here. There has been this. It's so unlevel. This side is way higher than what was the original tiny path, and then that side again was even lower. So I need to level everything, which will be my next job. I'm just going to put the string lines on very quickly, and then I might just plant my 2 trees over there quickly, get those out of those tubs, and then have a tidy up and then see what I fancy doing. I'm going to try and get some of these smaller bits of wood gathered up so that I can put them in the wheelbarrow and take them home. So the site doesn't allow vehicles on November, I think it is. So we can't bring a car up, which is annoying because we would have had all the wood gone. I would have just loaded it all into the van and got rid of it. But I'm going to take some of the smaller bits and pieces and then kind of lay the bigger bits just over the sheeting so that it stops blowing up. Yeah, I'm going to get those 2 trees planted. The string lines are all in. The path is kind of marked out, and we're going to need to bring some wood down just to kind of edge the bed areas. The rest of the slabs are going to need to come down. And then the next job will be to level everything over, really. So I will pull up all of the plastic and level kind of everything because it really is not level at all. But I can see the kind of vision coming together a little bit. So I've brought you over to this corner. We're in the very back end of it now, the plot. So I need to plant these 2 trees. I'm just looking at them now and I can't remember which one is it. I think that's the plum tree. And that one's the pear tree. I suppose it does matter because I can only prune one now and not the other. That's the pear. I'm going to put both of these in the ground, central to these, and then next week I'll bring up the wires and start doing that and be able to start trimming them down a little bit. But at least then they're in the ground and not another job that I need to do. So I'm going to get on with that now quickly. As soon as I've got the spade up here anyway, which way round do I want those? I think I want pear that side. Of course I would. Yeah, well I pear this side just because that's where it already is. Let's move this. Oh my god, that's heavy. My husband is going to watch this at some point and laugh at the awkward and cack-handed way that I do things and just be howling laughing. I just want something to hold that down with. We'll use this. So this is the old signpost. The lady and gentleman that had the plot before has had this one and one actually sort of behind it. So they had a nice little hanging sign that we're currently now just using to hold down black plastic. Feel a little bit bad sometimes, but anyway. There is like all this mould on the floor. Right, let's get some trees planted. Now I'm having a bit of a panic moment because when I bought the pear tree, I can clearly see the pear tree. I'm looking for my secateurs. Over here. So when I bought the pear tree, I had no plan to kind of espalier it. So I'm looking at it now. And it suddenly dawned on me, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So where do we go from here? I'm panicking. Definitely panicking. So I'm thinking I probably don't need this one because it's growing off the wrong way entirely. Who is that? Look like I'm talking to myself. So I probably don't need this one. And then there's like one here that's like itty bitty. Can you see that? Tiny little thing. But it is going the right way. And then that leaves me with then like these two that I'm thinking could be my first two. But then that only leaves me with this little dinky spindly thing to be like my main branch to grow up. And I'm thinking that that's a bit too small. Should I just chop some stuff off? Oh my god, I'm panicking. Maybe I chop off the two that I'm definitely not going to need, and then maybe I should watch a video about how to do this again, because I have watched a couple, but like their trees are like the perfect shape to do it with, which shockingly is always the case, isn't it? And mine looks like a spindly, squiggy thing. Oh my god, I'm cutting it. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to cut that one too. Quick, voices in the head, they made me do it. Okay, so now I don't know what to do. Because I don't think that's big enough, is it, to be like my main branch? But like this one would be fine, and this one would be fine. But you are letting the team down. Like seriously, letting the team down. Well, he's in the ground. We'll go with that. I should probably label him, shouldn't I? I will get a little ticket and label him. There was a couple of primroses as well that I must have planted in here while it was in my garden. So I've potted those up and I'll plant those up over on the other plot somewhere. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please don't die now. I've said like offensive things to you. You're not letting the team down. You're lovely. You're doing a great job. Oh God, I'm looking at that one now too and thinking the same thing. He doesn't even have a third branch. Why did I think this was a good idea? Why did I think I knew what I was doing? Why couldn't I just plant trees? Oh no. He only has two branches. Like the new branches just like appear. Oh no, I've made a serious error. Right, let's get that one planted and we'll just go from there. Right, bear with. Figured that while I'm over here, I'll take a little look at the blackcurrant bush too. Ah, pretty scar. I am pretty sure this is the right time of year to be pruning this anyway, but it's quite new, so I'm just going to do the whole anything that looks damaged, anything that's crossing over job on it, just for a minute, just to kind of set them on the right track for next year. I don't really think much needs to come off. Looking for an open goblet shape, apparently. Not entirely sure I know what a goblet is. Is that like one of those big cups? I think it is. That's what we're aiming for. I think we'll take that one off as well because it's a bit in the middle. You'll do, Mr. Blackcurrant. You'll do for now. I fear that what I've actually done today is make the plot look more crap than when I started, which wasn't my intention. I'll do you a quick video now so you can kind of see where we've got, and I hope you can see the vision. Ignore the trees because I really don't. I think I'm a little bit out of my depth with those, and yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I'm not entirely sure. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'll go and see if I can suss that out. Maybe I just like leave it back to one and then chop that down and that becomes the main one. I don't know. I'll watch some videos. If not, we'll just be having regularly shaped trees, you know, tree-shaped ones. Yeah, let me have a tinker and tidy up some tools. I'm going to go and put those bits of wood into the car so that I can get rid of some of this rotten wood. Then I'll show you the disaster of the plot as it is currently. I don't think I've improved it as yet. I'll see what we can get done over Christmas. But I'll be up next weekend. Hopefully with a little bit of a plan to do a few more things. But yeah, let me just tinker, get tidied up a bit, and then I'll do you a finishing video so you can see the carnage that I've caused. I'm just looking back at the plot now. I definitely think I've made it look way worse than when I started. Note to self, I should wear gloves. Yeah, let me spin you around and I'll show you where we've got to. The sun is shining on everything now. So yeah, I hope you can kind of see. That'll be our little path going down the middle. It is in the middle. I measured it like 53 times in the end, off camera, because it didn't look like it was in the middle. So yeah, this will be a little path going down the middle. We'll have a bed here and a really big bed there too. Then we'll wander down here and we'll have an asparagus bed there, parsnips and carrots all in here. And then this will take us to this little path that will go along here. And this little area will be our trees, which we've planted, and we have no idea how to espalier, but again, we'll work on that. So this will be kind of one little planting area. Centre here will be hopefully a polytunnel, although we can only have small polytunnels, annoyingly. And then this is just another little bed over there. I've taken up the rest of the wood up to the car. Just noticed those, need to put them in the shed. Yep, we're falling over again. But yeah, I hope you can kind of see where I'm going with it. If you can't, bear with me. So that is this for today. It is 1 o'clock. So I'm going to head home, have some lunch, and then I'll be back up next weekend and we'll do another video of what I get to that day too. In the meantime, have a wonderful week.